we are in the beautiful, beautiful location of Rann of Kutch in Gujarat to test out the new Java 350. Welcome to Drive Spark. I'm Vedant Jouhari, and what I have right in front of me is the Java 350. So now starting off with the front end of this beautiful motorcycle, it comes in as you can see, in a very neo-classic retro design. And at the front we have those classic old-fashioned circular headlamps with the Java logo on it. And below that we have an exposed horn, again adding a whole design element to this. Also attached to our forks are two circular indicators with the chrome finish at the rear, again creating the whole retro look on it. Now on top of the headlight that we have a very classic looking windshield that we've seen on the older motorcycles. The front forks that we have on this are telescopic forks, and it's attached to an 18-inch wheel. Now the front wheel that we have is a 100 by 90 wheel, and you don't really need a bigger wheel for a 350cc classic motorcycle. Now moving on from the side design, looking at our side view mirrors, we again have the old-fashioned circular round chrome finished mirrors. And along this bike we have a lot of chrome elements, and what do you normally see in older motorcycles? Touches of chrome. Looking at the side design of this motorcycle, starting off with the fuel tank. Now the fuel tank that we have is in a dual tone finish, a chrome and the orange. Now this chrome finish with the Java logo embossed on it adds such a unique aesthetic. And the fuel cap that we have on this also has some designs on it, and it also says since 1929. 1929 was when the brand Java was launched in Czechoslovakia. On the tank, other than the chrome, we have this nice stripe, this nice patch of the Mystic Orange spanning down the center from the top till the end, and the fuel cap that we have is also in a chrome and a golden finish. Now moving on, we have two boxes on the motorcycle, one on each side, and on one side is for your fuses. Now moving on to the rear design of this motorcycle, again it screams a very retro look, it screams a very classic look, and it comes with the standard Java brake lights that how we've seen on the older motorcycles, and it also comes with the two indicators that we've seen on the front at the rear as well, with the chrome finish at back. So now coming to the exhaust of this. So this motorcycle comes with a single cylinder, but the mouth is split into two to give us two exhausts, and the exhaust note of this motorcycle is beautiful. So coming to the seating of this motorcycle, the seat that we have is extremely cushioned. Now for the rider, it's a very comfortable seat, but for your pillion, the seating is comfortable. However, with the vibrations, it may get a little uncomfortable for them. And the handlebars that we have, the whole seating position of this is a very classic style and a very retro style. It's nothing too sporty, nor is it too relaxed. It's in between of both. And the Java 350 is also made to be a little sportier than their previous models. The previous models were a 300cc, and this is a 350. They've upped the ante, they've given us that little more power to play around with. So all over our engine, as you can see, we have a chrome finish over here, a chrome finish here, and in a lot of other places. Also the exhaust that we have is also in a chrome finish. On the engine casing, we have a small patch over here which says original Java 1929. And that is again because Java was first launched in 1929. So at the rear, we have twin shocks, and that is 5-step adjustable. So you can make it a little more stiffer or a little more softer depending on your comfort. Now coming to the engine, the main heart of this motorcycle. Well, powering this is a 334cc liquid cooled single cylinder engine that produces 22 horsepower and 28.1 Newton meters of torque. So as you can see from the previous versions of Java, they have pushed up the power, they have pumped up the power to give us a little more to play around with, to have that little more fun when we're out on the open roads. And the wheelbase of this has also been extended, and as Java calls it, it's a mile muncher. Now that's because of the slightly elongated wheelbase. It's a lot more comfortable to ride, and it's a lot more stable. So you can go for your longer rides and you can ride this for a longer duration of time, still being comfortable on it. So the radiator that we have on the Java 350 has been redesigned to be a smaller radiator. Now you might be thinking, why a smaller radiator on a bigger CC engine? Well, that's because Java has not just made the radiator smaller, they've improved the airflow through it. So even though you get a smaller radiator, you get much better airflow to actually cool the engine. So now coming to the cluster of this. It's not a digital cluster, it is fully analog, and for me, I love analog displays. And something really unique about this cluster is normally what you see is it moves in a clockwise direction, but here it moves in an anti-clockwise direction, which means the zero is on the right side instead of the left side and not at the bottom. It's located on top. And as you increase your speed, it comes down, 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 and then it goes the other direction. So that is something really unique. Also, the fuel gauge that we have is not like what you normally see with points. It actually says 1x4, 2x4, 3x4 or 4x4 depending on how much fuel you actually have left on this. Also, there's a very nice small Java logo located on the cluster, again adding a whole design element and showcasing the Java identity. So now we are on board the Java 350 and let's see how it performs, let's see how refined this engine is, let's see how the suspension setup is, and let's see how the braking is. So now as you can see, I'm on the bike, has a really nice sound on the exhaust, and let's see how it performs. So first let's take a look at the acceleration of the motorcycle. I'm almost at a standstill right now, and yeah, let's go. So we're already at 100 kilometers per hour. We're doing 120 already for a classic motorcycle. For a neo-retro motorcycle, it is top notch, it's really good. Engine is super refined, it's super smooth. The gear lever is very easy to shift. You don't need to struggle to shift your gears. And yeah, so that is something that's really good about this. And the suspension setup is really, it's not too hard, it's not too soft. It's perfect. I wouldn't say perfect, but it's well calibrated. It's nice, it's comfortable. The seating position, I'm not too lean front nor am I fully reclined. I'm sitting upright, I'm sitting comfortably. The seating position is really good. Seat comfort is tremendous. I don't feel any strain on my lower back. I've been riding for around 20-25 kilometers, close to 30, and I still haven't felt any strain on my back. I've taken it through some bumpy patches. Still really good. So I mean, that way the suspension is really good. The seat helps in providing that extra comfort. And so let's take a look at the braking. So we're reaching a toll booth up ahead. So once I get to that, I take it. And now even going over the bumps on the road, it's not like the bike is going haywire. It's still holding its own. So like there, right there, still holding its own. It didn't send me off the road. So that way, the bike is really well calibrated. The throttle response is ideal. So now let's see. So I brake a little late for this, but let's see how the brakes actually perform. So yeah. So there, as you can see, it brakes really well. The front brakes have a really good bite. So now even on this bumpy patch, I don't really feel any discomfort. I'm still quite comfortable. And whacking the throttle open on this also, it's not like it sent me out. It's not like there was too much power that it sent the rear wheel spinning and pushed me out. It still held its own. It didn't really spin the tires and send me out. So that was definitely a plus point on this. And the suspension also, the way it handled those bumpy patches, again, I wasn't uncomfortable. I didn't have to stand up on the motorcycle. I could still sit easily and take it. So I mean, yeah, that was the suspension. And the brakes also very happy with. Just look at this scenery, guys. Look how wonderful this is. Look how good these roads are, how well maintained it is. So yeah, so the fly screen that I have in front of me also helps in stopping the wind blast, in stopping any debris from hitting us. So I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but there are a lot of marks on the fly screen from debris, from small stone chips, a lot of flies. So that's why it's called the fly screen. So the fly screen does help in sort of giving us that extra comfort in protecting us from the debris ahead of us. So the rear brakes that we have also, now I won't touch my front brake, it's only rear brake. So there, see, it's pretty strong, it has a decent height to it definitely. So the rear brakes also work well. So both the brakes together also will perform really good. Let's see how that works out. So the cars are braking ahead of me, so let's see how both the brakes together perform. So the longer wheelbase that we have definitely improves the comfort on this, and as I said earlier, Java calls this the mile muncher, and I can see why now. 35 kilometers that I've ridden, I really haven't felt like it. It felt like I've just got on the motorcycle and I've been riding. Hats off to them for building such a refined engine on a motorcycle that really resembles their old school ones, the ones that really have the Java identity, the Java DNA. This has the Java DNA when you look at it. In the older days, Java was known for their performance on the smaller displacement motorcycles from the 200 to 300 cc range. So building this 350 cc engine does improve the ride feel. The refinement on it is wonderful. How smooth the engine is wonderful. How tractable it is wonderful. All in all, this was a Java 350 and it comes in 3 colorways. One is in a black finish, one is in a maroon finish, and this one is my favorite, and this is the Mystic Orange. Now coming to the price of the Java 350. Well, it's priced at rupees 2.15 lakhs ex-showroom, and you honestly get what you're paying for this motorcycle. So let us know in the comment section down below what you think of the Java 350, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. My name is Vedant Jouhari, signing out.